welcome back to my channel. I'm back down on Embryo Angling's Phil's Lake, my syndicate down in Oxford, Abingdon, for my first fishing trip of 2024. So got here at 7 o'clock this morning, and to my surprise there were already 8 people on, not like the last few sessions that I've been here. If you've watched my last videos, my last vlogs on Phil's Lake, I've basically been the only angler on, so it was a bit of a surprise to see so many fish in here this morning. But it is what it is. With a lake like this, the stamp of fish in here, it's only getting better and better. So it is no surprise that it's getting busy, to be honest. But anyway, so yeah, we got here at 7 o'clock. I had to wait until 12 o'clock before the peg came free that I was happy to fish in. Now I've ended up in a peg called Boat, which gives me access to the island on the lake where fish do tend to hold up. I was fishing to the back of the island last year in my second instalment of vlogs on Phil's Lake, but I was fishing it from a completely different peg. So yeah, I've managed to find a spot. It's only 6 foot deep. That's the only issue really that I'm having. It's quite shallow round by the island. I'd like to be in a little bit of deeper water. I'm going to see how it goes this evening. See how it goes through the night, and if there's no sign of fish around the island, if I don't have anything, then I'm going to move away from the island where I've found another spot that's at about 10 foot deep. Very, very similar water to where I fished last year in the in-between, and I managed to catch 8 fish in that one session. So yeah, I'm fishing anyway. I was expecting it to be colder. The last 2 weeks we've had some really good weather, really good spring weather, and it was due to drop really cold over the weekend. See, it's Tuesday now. It was due to drop cold over the weekend and then continue to be a bit chillier, highs of 7 or 8 degrees throughout the week. But actually it's been pleasantly warm this morning, 10 to 12 degrees. However, from 1:30 onwards it's been absolutely constant rain. It's now 6 o'clock, so we've had a good 5-6 hours of solid rain, and it's due to carry on now until at least midnight. It's not really signs of many fish at all. I haven't seen anybody else catch on the lake either. It's a bit of a quiet one, so I'm going to keep this one short and sweet, and hopefully I'll be able to actually update with a fish at some point. But if not, you know, I'll try a couple of different things. I've brought some solid bags with me as well to try just in case. Yeah, like I say, short and sweet. I'll see you in a bit. Not the most eventful night last night. However, not too long ago I did actually manage to land this absolute beast of a common at £40 on the nose. As good as that sounds, it is a recapture. I caught this 2 years ago. It's a fish called smudge. I caught it at 30, I think it was £35 at the time. And this hasn't quite done £40 yet. So this is the first time it's done £40. It's done £39. So this is its biggest weight. This was caught on a wafter tipped with cord. Dog's just come for a little bit of a nosy. There we go. Absolute beast of a common. I say it is a recapture. I'm not complaining at all, because it is a PB common for me. Just show you the other side really quickly. So that first shide that I've just shown you, if you take a look, you can see a little scar on its tail, which I think is why it's known as smudge. It's a really fat belly on it at the minute. There we go. So I'm not going to keep this one out of the water for too long. I'm going to get it back. I'm going to sort my riders out. I didn't recast the rod that I caught it on. Just left it out just for the last couple of hours. What's interesting was I did hear 1 or 2 fish throughout the night, but they were further down the lake, and I did wake up at about 2 o'clock and I did notice that the lad on the point was just putting his net down, so he just had one. So it was quite active last night. Didn't hear anything down here, so I was quite surprised to catch this one, but it's a good one to have. I'm going to go and sort the fish out and get my rod back out.
There's fish number 2. It's a very heavily plated mirror of about 19 pound 4. This one come off the baited spot just off the island. I've taken one rod off the island and I've put it on a solid bag to a few fish that were showing a little bit shorter to my left, just to see if I can get a quick bite from one of those. I've watched the fish move from the left hand side of the lake down by the point to in between. There's a fair few fish now, I think, just moving closer to the island. So I've got a good chance another one or two, to be fair. Beautiful fish, this one. A quick look at the other side. And get this one back, get the rods back out and out for another one. Get this update done now just before the light starts to fade too much. Been a bit of an odd day today. As I mentioned in that previous video, I've kind of watched the fish from all the way over my left hand side down towards the point. Watched them move across, showing closer and closer to me throughout the day, and it ended with me landing that 19 pounder a little bit earlier on. Haven't had anything since, and actually haven't seen anything show since either. I did mention that in the last video that I'd actually swapped one of my baits over to a solid bag. Reason being because I had seen a couple of fish show, and the members that I've been speaking to said that most of the fish that have come out recently have been on solid bags. The lad who had 11 fish in one session, every single one of those fish came off solid bags. So I thought I'd give it a try. I'd seen a couple of fish a little bit shorter, so I thought I'd put a bait on them. Nothing on that one at all, to be honest, but there you go. Just a very really simple rig on that one. Little yellow wafter. It's a CC Moore yellow wafter with the pellets. The pellets are CC Moore Pacific tuna pellets inside the bag as well, and the wafter itself is a Pacific tuna flavoured bait as well, even though it was yellow. Yeah, it was something a little bit different, just to try and nick another bite. So both fish have just come from the side of the island, just there, which is exactly where that lad had 11 fish from the other day. Looks good for a bite now. The wind was absolutely hacking down towards the point earlier. For the last hour now it's been a bit calmer. It looks like the fish could move around the island throughout the night. A little bit like they did last night when I managed to land Smudge. The dog, bless her. It's the first time the dog's been overnight with me, and she's been overall quite good, but she has decided to jump in the water, to be fair to her. But you know, she's a Labrador. Labradors love water. Should have expected it. But yeah, the weather's much better than it was this morning. Woke up this morning, it was absolutely freezing cold, and I didn't really have high hopes for anything throughout the day. So to nick another fish throughout the day, I'm really pleased with. A few lads have dropped off. There's a couple of other lads joined on the lake today. I've got one either side of me. There's one still on the point. The opposite side on the riverside bank, that's completely free now. The one lad that was fishing in cut tree's gone, and one of the bailiffs is just fishing on the pylon swim on the other side of the island. There's still a fair few lines in the water. I am hopeful. So let's see if the next video is an update with a fish. If it's not, it's going to be an update season. Right, it's a Friday morning. I'm going to pack up in a minute and get the dog home. Had a nice little wake up call this morning at around about 4:30. Had this lovely 32 pound 2 mirror. Interestingly, this one was off the solid bag. So this was in deeper water, about 10 foot of water, away from the island. I've had absolutely no interest whatsoever on the baited area that's on the island that I had the 2 fish off previously. And then about I'd say about 15 minutes ago. I had another take on the solid bag that I re-chucked back out. Yeah, unfortunately that one got cut off. But yeah, it's a really good way to end another trip. I'll be back down next week for another 2 nights. See if I can squeeze a few more out next week. Appreciate you watching the video anyway, so hopefully you'll see me next week. Another video with a few more fish on the bank. Take care.